time for Common Man. Common man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Little Cubbies versus Little Tigers, bottom of the third inning. Little Johnny up to bat. Little Billy, the pretend pitcher for the Little Cubbies. Little Billy pretends to pitch. Little Johnny swings, and it's a dribbler to second base, and it goes by Little Aaron through to the gap. All 9 Little Cubbies chasing after it. The right fielder, Little Danny, laying on the ground, playing with dandelions. He won't get there. Maybe the right center fielder, Little Kenny, will. No, it goes by Little Kenny, too. All the Little Tigers will score, except Little Johnny. Little Johnny is running the wrong way. The man that hit the dribbler to the gap is going the wrong way. He's rounding second, but in the opposite direction. Pandemonium here on field number 3. It all comes down to this. Little Cubbies, their final at bat here at the T-Ball World Series. Little Brendan up to bat, 2 inside the park home runs today. On his way to another MVP season. You'll remember he was the MVP of spring T-Ball. They switched teams for the summer T-Ball league, and Little Brendan still able to produce. His Little Cubbies down by 1 here with 2 outs in the final inning. Here's the fake pitch from Little Tigers closer, Little Jack, and it's a long fly ball to deep center field. Has Little Brendan done it again? Yes, he has. Touch them all, Little Brendan. The Cubbies win the T-Ball Summer League World Series. Little Cubbies all over the field, mobbing Little Brendan. It's a walk-off. Cookies, gummy bears everywhere. Little Brendan's dad, the coach, getting a juice box shower, doused with juice boxes, and it's Little Mike Doss Jr. doing the honors. Good to hear from Little Mike Doss Jr. Lost earlier in the season when he tripped over third base when he was supposed to run to first. Little Mike Doss Jr. can't be held down. What a day here at the T-Ball Ball Yard.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North.
Correct.
This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Oh, I've been growing like a weed. Common Man program begins at 5, actually 3 with foul signs. Ack, you and yours. I think I'm a little loopy from all the cough syrup I've been consuming. I took everybody's advice and decided not to go with the Dayquil. Though I never really felt like it made me or the NyQuil. I don't think it really made me very tuckered. I think maybe well, then here's what I think. It's sort of like one of those, someone will suggest something to you, and even though, well, I'll just use the NyQuil as an example. I've taken NyQuil before, never felt like it made me tired to help me sleep. Then Rose and Tennessee go, what are you doing taking NyQuil in the middle of the day? You have to take that at night, you'll fall asleep. And I'm like, well, no, I won't. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, I'm going, am I tired? I feel like I might be a little bit more tired, but am I really, or am I just imagining it because they told me that? You see what I'm saying? Brett Blakemore in for the vacationing Tennessee. Tennessee, I believe, is I can't keep track of his kids' activities. I know there's hockey. I don't. Does his daughter do dance recital? Is she playing hockey? Is she doing
be in the mix? Yeah.
Is she doing? Maybe she's doing a debate. I don't know. But I think Tennessee's got some kind of a hockey tournament this weekend. And so he's out. Brett Blakemore, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
I was having this discussion with you before the program started. I said, do you come in when you're producing and sidekicking for the Common Man, do you come in with some trepidation? Do you come in with some uneasiness? Because, I mean, we did talk before the Grum, and you said, what do you got? And I basically go, I got nothing, And I think for a producer, it's like, well, I sense from Tennessee, especially, did you see the Insta thing where Kara, somebody came up with the idea, but Kara is when she puts all the Insta stuff for us, the social for us, about do you have a New Year's resolution for somebody else on the air?
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. Oh, you've not?
Well, I wasn't asked.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Weird.
I think, and I don't know if they did producers or was just the main, I don't know. But anyway, long story short, sorry to offend you.
No.
Sorry you feel left out. Land of Misfit Toys. Sorry about that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
The truth cannot be
It's kind of sad, isn't it? I don't get any respect. I don't get any respect around here. So fake laugh, that's good.
I've been working on it.
Yeah, well, you have to on my show because there's not a lot of real laughter that can be elicited from what we say. But, I wonder if it's like, well, because I think Tina B would much, because he says on that, well, my New Year's resolution would be for Common that he would know what he's going to say 5 seconds before he says it, because I just kind of go on and on. Like, I didn't know I was going to be talking about this until just a few minutes ago when you and I had the conversation out in the anteroom about, would you rather know what we're going to do today architecturally? Would you rather know 12 to 12:15, we're going to talk about this. Then 12:15 to 12:30, we got that. Then 12:30 to 1, the little B comes in. And by the way, we did offer the option to both Alec Lewis and Ben Gessling. They will be, Ben Gessling will be our Gessling. You get it? Yeah. That's what my Deuce does to me. Anytime I say something that's really not funny, he'll go,
You hear that a lot.
Yeah. Wow. Give yourself a, go ahead and give yourself a. Oh, you know what I figured out about logging into this? Tend to be at the because we have a password we have to use to log into the.
Oh no!
To this computer, no, and I said I don't know. I'm doing it right. I actually had put a space before where you're supposed to start, so it was space and then the password, and I had no idea. I would have been here forever. This is a couple weeks ago. I'd have been here forever trying to figure it out. So he goes, "Well, you have an extra space before you started the password," which I didn't. No! Oh, but you know what I did do yesterday? Oh, this is a first. So I had to do. I have a new endorsement. I've lost 30 pounds in 60 days, and I've kept the weight off with mnfatloss.com. It really works. It's wonderful, and I've been extolling its virtues and doing, passing along what I've learned and the success I've had in commercial messages, and I hope people take advantage of it. But what they also wanted was they wanted me to do a video that they can put on their website saying, hey, I'm the common man Dan Cole from KFAN, and yes, mnfatloss.com does work. Lost 60 pounds. So they want like a 60-second video, and I wanted to memorize it, right? So it'd be nice and smooth. I didn't, on a radio show, you're expected to kind of stammer and stutter a little bit as you search for words. But in a video, it's like I can't be going, I really like it because it's really, I lost weight, so it has to be. And I just couldn't. And then I thought to myself, back in 1983, I appeared in a play called Prisoner of Second Avenue at the Kemmer Guild, the theater, the news director. I've recanted this tale before. I was the lead character in a 2-hour play that was on stage for an hour, 55 minutes. The first actor was just myself and my onstage wife that had all the dialogue. And I was able to memorize all of that. I can't memorize a 1-minute script and I wrote it. Well, I finally was able to do it. Then I had to take a video of it, which I did on my phone. But then when I tried to send it to sales guy, it said it's too large. It's too big. That's a minute. You can't send it. So I call sales guy, say I'm about to cry. It's taking me forever just to figure out the script and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, there's this thing called the cloud. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Well, he says, well, here's what you do. Go to gallery where your videos and your pictures are. And he said, press this where that, the less than sign is, that says, I get that, but I played along. I know how to send stuff. He said there's then I have to do a couple other steps. I don't even know what it is. Do you have any idea what I didn't send it on the cloud per se. It was.
You might have uploaded it to a drive of some sort.
Yes, something, a OneDrive.
OneDrive, yeah.
I did OneDrive.
Wow.
Me, boomer, 6'7". I'm 67. I'm 6'7". I was able to and I did it without having to call back. No. What did you say to do? I just, and to me, I know right now there are people rolling their eyes, shrugging their shoulders, and shaking their head and say, okay. That's really not any harder than putting a key into your front door and unlock. I always leave my keys in the front door. Happened the other day. Pete wanted to use the car. He's back on vacation, right? Or spring break or winter break. So he was going to go to his girlfriend's, and he goes,
Lucky.
yeah, and he goes, can I use your car? I go, sure. He goes, where are the keys? I go, I don't know, check the front door. He goes there, and sure enough, they're in the lock in the front door. I do that at least 2 or 3 times a week. I've done it where I'm looking all over in the morning before trying to go to work and can't find my car keys. Where are they? And I go look, and they're there. What if somebody, a prowler, a burglar, a would-be burglar,
It's walking up insane lane.
Well, he's up 13, 14 insane lane. He goes, look at the guy. He's inviting me to steal his car. It's almost like he wants me to steal his car. And then is he really stealing it if the keys are available? It's like I'm saying, go ahead, take it for a spin.
So is it when you go into the house, you just close the door without taking the keys out? That's what okay.
Yeah, because I'm always carrying I've got my backpack.
Sometimes your lunchbox.
Yeah, lunchbox if I don't forget that back at the radio station. So I leave them in there all the time. Yeah. So, but I OneDrived yesterday.
How about that?
It's right up the gut. Then I thought, I came up with a new bit too. You know, I was talking the other day about how I got the Cub card to get you get a discount on gas. I couldn't figure out how to do the Cub card. I'm trying to swipe it and do this and that, and finally I try to pump the gas, and the guy over the loudspeaker goes, "It's pay at the pump or pay inside." Which I know, but now he says it over the loudspeaker. Everybody pumping is looking at me. And so I thought I should have started saying, all eyes on us. Everybody at the pump. Everybody at the pump. I got a laugh out of BBP when I said that. Did you find that mildly amusing? That's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
that's all right.
I mean, that's a standard
common man fare.
It's a standard dad changing the lyrics of a song to the current situation bit, which is funny.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
I think the La Quinta bit is better.
You like La Quinta,
I like the La Quinta bit.
Yeah, La Quinta, where, you ever stay at a La Quinta? Play along.
Yeah.
Do you know what La Quinta translates into English?
No.
Next to Denny's. But speaking of funny... Beach House and I are starting to sell tickets. This is amazing. I think it's just because we haven't been in Rochester for so long. People really have never seen us before. And they're going, why? Let's just even see if this is real. But tickets are available. We're 3 weeks out, January 31st. Usually 3 weeks out, we haven't sold any tickets. People are still debating, well, I don't know if comedy night, if I'll have sorted my socks, watched the paint dry, when are they delivering the boiling hot vat of asphalt? We've sold pretty near 50 tickets already. 3 weeks out. This is amazing.
50.
They're available, commonmanbook.com. We're going to give some away in the weeks leading up. Not next week, but the week after. We're going to give away tickets to the show. It'll be a really big show. Common Man Meat Sauce, your Larry Mondello guy, at the Eagles Club. They said I'd never worked the Eagles Club in Rochester. I said, yeah, you can work, Falling Star. You can work New Hope Cinema Grill. You can work Bogart. You can work The Mermaid. But you'll never, ever work... You can work Grandma's, Cato Ballroom, Sanctuary, but you'll never work the Eagles Club in Rochester. Well, I'm getting the last laugh. Go to commonmanbook.com to order tickets now. We're also in Mankato, too. We'll give away tickets for that show. That's February 21. That's a Saturday as well. At the legendary Cato Ballroom. Go to catoballroom.com/tickets for that. We will, we'll break. We'll come back with controversial Vikings news. It's Peek at the Purple, brought to you by AffordableElectric.com. We'll do that next. Common Man Program on the Fan.
Can you feel it? Bonus Box is back starting next week.
Bonus Box.
Next week, KFAN.
Big prizes.
Beginning next Monday, we have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday.
Do-re-mi.
Every hour from 9 a.m.
Big fat stacks of iHeart provided cash.
Till 5 p.m. Enter keywords, learn more at KFAN.com.
Cash in, cash out. Cash in, cash out. Cash in, cash out. I offered Gessling, Fisher Hut Factory West Side, beat writer Vikings, scheduled to join us for Program Password. And Alec Lewis, who beat writer Vikings for The Athletic, said, hey, I got a bad cold. If you want out, you don't want to be inside a studio for 45 minutes with somebody who's sick. Alec Lewis is already here. He said he has a cold also. Then I said, well, we probably got the same thing. No, we probably have different colds. How many different colds are there? I said, well, I didn't believe it. I'm like, well, no, we both have a cold. We probably have the same exact thing. A cold's a cold. And then I said, do you have a cough with yours? He said, no. I go, I guess we have different colds. Haven't heard from Gessling. And I've got an N95 mask I'll wear. Hold on. I got a cough.
Oh.
I'm doing the Robitussin. My problem is, you know what I did? I ate dirt and then rubbed Robitussin on my outside of my throat. I don't think that's where it's supposed to be. No! Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. When the temps drop, space heaters come out, right? A lot of people use them. Electrical problems, though, can accompany those space heaters. Overloaded circuits, trip breakers, melting outlets. They're more common than you think, pardon the pun. Keep your family safe this winter with Affordable Electric. Their licensed electricians can add dedicated circuits, upgrade panels, and fix dangerous wiring before it becomes an emergency. Stay warm, stay safe. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com is a place to go. And remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Maybe that'll shock that cold right out of me. What I want to know is, have you ever heard of Airborne? Is that the name of the drug? It's not a
There's
drug.
a band.
Was it really?
Yeah.
There's some other, like, I don't know if it's called Airs. It's supposed to be if you take it when you get it helps prevent colds. I don't believe those stories.
Oh, yeah. There's something emergency.
Is that another one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do those really work? I just get I don't know why I don't. Once you get a cold, you've got one. I don't know how it's going to get rid of it. Well, they say if you get the flu, they have antivirals that if you take them within 48 hours, it will lessen the effects of a flu. They say this is the worst flu season we've had in this country for like 30 years.
Everybody's
30
sick,
years. Yeah. And you asked me, do you think I have the flu? The flu is so different. I think the onset of a flu is immediate fever and chills. I've had that. So I have had no fever, no chills. Well, the Vikings give me a fever and give me chills, but that's a whole.
That might be
thing.
Avatar.
That could be Avatar. Aggravated Vikings anticipatory traumatic abandonment reaction syndrome. Think about this. If it wasn't for Devin, is it Duvernay? If it wasn't for Devin Duvernay, where do you think the Friday football feast would have been today? Because it was him. He was the one return prevented the Vikings from winning the division. Well, of course, not really, but we'll just pretend that. Because, I don't think Green Bay starts, what was his name? Bill Toon? Fred Toon? Out of tune?
Yeah. He was out of tune the whole game. They couldn't move the ball.
Well, he was so bad they cut him, right?
Yeah.
He's done so. I don't think they play him if the division's on the line, so there's no guarantee we win that last game, right? So, you can play that game all you want. And if Romeo Dobbs knows how to recover a onside kick, the Packers beat the Bears and it's different there. So it's just a silly game to play. But where do you think the Friday football feast would have been? It would have been at a Buffalo Wild Wings somewhere.
Certainly.
How many Buffalo Wild Wings locations are there in the Twin Cities? There's got to be hundreds. Hundreds. So I don't know if they had to double up. And what if you get to postseason? Now, we don't know this because this doesn't happen here. But what if we made a deep postseason run? I mean, which Buffalo Wild Wings? Is there a pecking order? Is there a bidding war to get the Friday football? I mean, if we got to the NFC Championship again, heaven forbid, the last time we were there was 2017. And, a lot of people look at that game and think it was a blowout, but we weren't that far out of that game. All we needed was a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and an onside kick. A touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and an onside kick. A touchdown, a 2-point conversion, an onside kick. Where would we go for the Friday football feast? They'd all be clamoring for it.
Is there a feast lottery? Maybe?
I think you'd almost have to do it.
Yeah.
Or you could have the general manager like in a wrestling match or something like that to see who gets to have the Friday football feast. But we're not going to have that. Can
I read a text that I found?
Ooh, yeah. Is it Vikings related?
It is.
Oh, good.
It says common. It's from Matt in Bismarck. It says common. You got to be careful leaving your keys in the door handle. A prowler might come in and leave Viking tickets in your home.
Think about it. Well, it could happen. Well, did I ever tell you what happened to me?
No.
Do you remember when the Wolves used to have this? They always every year team what is the Viking slogan now? It's heartbeat of the North. Mm. Well, they're trying to resuscitate that heart that needs a transplant. That heart stopped. It's not beating at all right now, right? It used to be, for the Wolves, it used to be, united we run. I never even understood what that meant. What do you mean, United We Run? And I finally figured it out when I went to a game. Now, I hadn't planned to go. I came out of my house, went to my car, driver's side window was broken, and there was a pair of Timberwolves tickets on the dashboard. I called the police, and Woodbury's Finest came over and said, Mr. Cole, breaking the window is a misdemeanor, but leaving those tickets is a felony. We'll get right on that. And I got there, and everywhere, all I saw was, placards, signage, that electronical ribbon that goes between the first and second bowl. It kept saying, United We Run, United We Run. And then I finally figured it out because about halfway through the first quarter, as a crowd, United We ran for the exits. That's a little taste of flop, sweat, and tears for you. Of course, here's the beauty of it. Now, I know the comeback to that would be, well, the Wolves just went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, and they're on a roll now. Those tickets are very valuable. I also saw you can still buy tickets for $10 for a Timberwolves game right now. That doesn't. How does that equate? How can the team be so good and you can still purchase tickets for $10 a pop? I saw it today on my email. But the beauty of being in the Twin Cities with 4 men's professional sports teams, you just change the bit to the Twins, right?
Didn't they have a good slogan this year? I can't remember what I was trying to.
The Twins?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought they
used
had
to
a
say
good one.
That's how we baseball. In other words, they lose games late, early. But anyway, and again, I think all is quiet right now on the at the TCO front, the new Winter Park. I didn't hear anything today that happened, and maybe you did. I didn't get a chance to listen to the Paul Allen Project today. I guess I'll ask, as long as Alec Lewis and Ben Gessling are both in, Viking beat writers, I don't want to ask them. They probably, don't you think they get just, as much as I think they enjoy their jobs. It's cool to cover a team and write it, and you're not running a jackhammer on 494, which some people like to do. I'm not diminishing that work. It needs to be done, and it pays well. But some people just don't want to do that blue collar kind of work. And I wonder if they just ever get tired, like if they come in here and go, so what do you think about J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. I don't want to think about it right now. I think about it too much. I want to just play program password. I don't want you to grill me about so I don't even know if I want to ask them. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, why would I want to do that?
There was a time where it was me and Russo on for a couple hours, and there was a street teamer, Jack. And Russo, after the show, goes, you want to go grab lunch? And we're like, all right. And we get there, and he goes, talk to me about anything else besides the Minnesota Wild.
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. That's exactly it, because it's like after a while, you tune in, turn on, and drop out, man. Someone said after they traded the entire team, there was a slogan, get to know them again. That's what they could do. They could do that, get to know them again, because, the Fish Wrap Factory West Side just did a piece where it says they were kind of analyzing the top prospects in the farm system. And, and again, it's, there's 10 of them, let's say, and of that 10, I bet 1 will turn into a star. 2 will be quality everyday players, and the others will fade away into the sunset. So we'll break. We'll come back. I got controversial Vikings news as well, and other items to get to. And I want to talk the Wild with you a little bit, too. The Wild and some Wolves talk, too. So let's do that. Lil B, Feminine Touch. And I haven't offered her yet the option to come in or not. If she doesn't want to come in today because of my cold, that's fine. I just like to give people that option. So we'll do that. We'll come back with a little Distat Lat here on The Fan.
Some great shows to Mystic Lake Amphitheater. Guns N' Roses will be there August 8th.
Guns N' Roses.
Roses.
Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time.
Leonard Skinnard and Foreigner.
Oh, man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
That's August 16th. And Motley Crue.
Taking care of business and working overtime. Workout.
August 21st. Get the complete details of all of our upcoming shows.
You're really good at that fake laugh.
Keyword calendar.
You're getting better
Thank
at the
you.
fake laugh.
I've been working on it since the last time we were on together.
You've got to make it sound like you think it's really funny.
Oh, did I tell you I found the twin slogan from last year?
Baseball on a budget?
No. That was good. It's Rise as One. You remember that?
Oh.
Rise as One.
That is. How about Your BOGO baseball leader. How about pitchers for penny pinchers? And then there's this might be my favorite, your liquidation destination. Just a few. That's the comedy you can hear from Larry Mondello guy. And then the best part is Larry Mondello guy will give me that bit, and I'm taking it. Sorry, because I just delivers it, now it's mine.
Brilliant.
That's what Robin Williams used to do. Did you know that? I know he's passed away, so you're not supposed to say, if someone's died, you're not supposed to, well, it's been a long time. I've been told by people in the comedy business there was no bigger thief. He'd watch you at the Comedy Store do a bit, he'd take it and he'd rework it, use it as his own. Well, who's going to believe it? I had that bit first. Yeah, of course you did. It's the biggest fear you have with stand-up comedy is people stealing bits. Like, for instance, I came up with this bit a long time ago. How about this? And then it's been stolen, but I just flew in from New York and my arms aren't tired a bit. And how about this one? Raquel Welch, she should be in 3D. 3D, that's my apartment number. Those are stolen by other comics. Just taken. But that'll happen, too. Your Wild Club. You are a big Wild fan. You're wearing Wild apparel right now, I believe.
That's true.
Is that most of your wardrobe, Wild apparel and Viking apparel?
It's mostly sports apparel, yeah.
Which is not, I'm just, I'm not saying.
It's comfy.
It is comfy.
So. All they do is win.
They do. They won last night. They won an OT. Can you explain something? I know working at the All Sports station, I shouldn't have with this. So if you get a regulation win, you get 2 points. What if you get a win in overtime?
You also get 2 points.
What if you get a win in a shootout?
You get 2 points.
Oh, so you get 2 at all those, in all cases. When do you only get 1?
When you lose in overtime or a shootout.
Okay.
So if you win, you get the 2.
But you at least each get, and then, and after, did they just keep doing the shootout until somebody scores then, too? There's never a draw in hockey?
Yeah, if theoretically, if it just kept going and going, yeah. They would
keep going and going.
They'd keep cycling through. They'd go down to, I imagine, the last skater and then start over again. I
never have understood. Well, I do understand, but it doesn't make sense to me why the National Hockey League and all their infinite wisdom said, I guess it's the fans. The fans don't like something that's been undecided. Well, you can't have a tie game. National Football League used to never have overtime, right? Used to be just... Yeah. Now, baseball always had extra innings. They had to have a winner. They just... Maybe they took that idea from them. I don't know, in NBA, they probably... I'm sure they've always had overtime in basketball, too, right? But in football, for the longest time, game ended, that was it. 13-13, final score. Shake hands, go your separate ways, unless you're on a Bud Grant team, then you don't shake the opposition. Hockey was the same thing. You skate to a 1-1 draw. That's the way it was, and now it can't be that way. Boxing still does it. They don't go, well, it's a draw. You guys got to, slug at each other for another round, right? They don't do that. I don't think they've ever done that. So, you like where your Wild Club is right now? How can you not, right?
I do. What really made me even more excited, besides how they're playing, they lost a couple to the Kings on this long road trip, was the fact that Russo, on with Bump, basically said, not promising or guaranteeing, but he's pretty certain that Bill Guerin's not done.
Right.
And there might be another big swing on the way. That gets me even more excited, because I like this team as is, maybe not to contend, but as like a really quality hockey team that could maybe win a round. You're taking one more swing and bringing someone else that's big. Now you've really got my attention.
You don't have to couch your enthusiasm. You're saying maybe just win one round. You think this team can go all the way. You think you like parades?
I enjoy parades.
Yeah. So,
I've once called this team the Skatriots.
Yeah. Well, Tenneby did say basically what you just said right now, what Russo said was that, and the way Tenneby explained it, and he's the Jolly Green Giant, is, Kaprizov's contract kicks in next year. And then if we like the mighty Quinn enough, we're going to have to redo his deal, right? So there's going to be more money added to the salary cap than there is now. Now is the time to rent a player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tenneby said, oh, wait, they do have ties in the National Football League. Someone just texted me that tie got Green Bay in. So they do play. And if they get
technically,
but if they get to one extra, what do you mean technically?
Well, yeah, it's the same thing as. It's the same thing as, if that one kick return from the Bears.
Oh, right, yeah.
So technically that is what got them in. But had they not tied that, they different things would happen.
Yeah.
But
But that's right. I guess in the NFL, they'll play one overtime and then they just say, that's it. We're not going further anymore. So I apologize for the misinformation, but that's what I do. I'm uninformed, unprepared, and unrepentant about it. So, I think it was $12 million we've got just loose change hanging around. So, yeah, if you are, when the team is playing as well as it has, they've played since the really awful start. Right? They started the season, they were awful.
yeah, they were not good. October was terrible.
And now, since, November, I don't know if they have the best record. Now, I guess you can't be better than the Lanch, but second or third best record, right? Since November. And it's not like, look, teams, quality teams, not great teams, but quality teams will go through stretches, right? Well, I guess even great teams will. Look at, let's go to the NBA. The OKC Thunder, weren't they like 21-1 or 22-1, 24-1? They had this gaudy record there. Unless they played last night. I didn't check NBA scores this morning. Unless they, I did see the Wolves won. Did the Wolves play last night?
I believe so.
It was last night they won, right? Yeah,
yes.
they won another game. I wanted to get to that, by the way. What was I saying? Oh, well, the Thunder they're a great team, not a quality team, but even great teams can run into they're 6-6 their last 12. So, but the Wild, it's not like, well, they had a great 2 weeks and then they kind of went back to where they were, or between that, not real bad, not real good. They've just continued to be really good. So, I'm all for it. I'll repeat. I don't like to repeat myself much. When the Conley character for the Wolves made the Gobert trade, I said, well, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm all for it. This team has been so bad for so long. Won Western Conference Finals appearance back in 2003. Were you even born in 2003?
I was.
Barely, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
elementary.
It's like it's been so. I'm willing to try anything. And same with the Wild. They had a Western Conference Finals run about the same time.
Yeah.
And they've done nothing since, other than they qualify for the playoffs. Because I'm willing to try anything. Well, who cares at this point? Mortgage the future. Trade away. Do something. Give us something to look forward to. This is starting to, it appears, and things can change quickly. That's why it's sports. Sports is your whole life, just sports. This could be a really good spring for if you're a winter sports fan of both teams. I like both. I'm not really a Wild guy or Wolves guy. I kind of prefer the sport of basketball than hockey, and I know that's sacrilegious to the people that live in the state of hockey. But the NBA, the association, I think I made no bones about the association. I think a lot of times it's just there's a lot of going through the motions in that league. But I'd love to see both teams fighting for our affections. I mentioned that yesterday, because you'll be paying attention to both, and whatever team goes deeper is the team you're going to be following. So we'll see how it goes. But I was talking about the Wolves, and Ant was really good again last night. When is he not? He rarely has an off game. But I saved a couple of quotes from the stories. It says, and not just quotes, but some other notes. It says, Edwards, at 24 years and 156 days, became the third youngest player in NBA history to hit 10,000 points for his career. He reached the mark with his first basket of the fourth quarter, a 13-footer with 6:54 left to put the Wolves up 116-103. In doing so, he passed and joined some elite company. The only two to do it earlier than him were LeBron James at 23 years, 59 days, and Kevin Durant, 24 years and 33 days. Edwards' favorite player growing up was Durant, it says in the story, and I remember him saying that before. Edwards said, to be honest, it's cool, but I know I got a lot more to go, so it's really nothing. And I believe it when he says that, and I like that he says that, because it is an accomplishment. 10,000 points, third youngest to do so. And when LeBron, some would argue, is the best player ever to lace him up. I think most people still feel it's Jordan or maybe Kobe, but there's a couple older guys. You got You got Kareem and Lou Alcindor. You have Oscar Robertson, and you got Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. But I think most people would say it's Jordan. But then it says one of the emotions Edwards did feel hitting that mark at 24 years old was a bit of a regret. He beat the late Kobe Bryant, who at 24 years, 194 days, was previously the third youngest to hit that mark. And he said, yeah, I'm kind of sick that I got it from Kobe. I wish I would have waited like 100 days or something, but it's all good. And, big fan of Kobe and, the tragic loss that we had of the helicopter crash. Here's a quote from Finch. He says, Finch flashed back to one of the games from Edwards' rookie year when Edwards scored over 40 points for the first time in a win over Phoenix as proof he was going to be a prolific scorer in the league. Here's what Finch said. At that point in time, you knew there was something inside him where he could get to that. What I'm most pleased of is he's playing a great floor game, really is. He's just driving it when the drive is there, getting off of it in the crowd, trusting his teammates, executing the offense, running plays, making the next pass, and moving well off the ball, too. And to me, that is the most important thing. I mean, there's a lot of guys in this league that can score, right? We talked about it yesterday. Trae Young just got traded from the Hawks to somebody, I don't know who. And reading a little bit about the trade, the take on Young is he is a prolific scorer, but he's a volume shooter, doesn't play defense at all. And if I read it correctly, and I don't always, because I should admit this working at the All Sports station, sometimes I just skim the sports page. But it sounds like his three-point shooting is like 34%, which is just at best in the NBA, right? But so you're really good at scoring. Well, I like a guy like Ant who's got a more well-rounded game. And you never know what direction a guy is going to take. Ant will play defense. Now, if you'll remember, at the beginning of the season, one of the things, and we heard it from a couple of people who put their names behind the quote, they said, we have to convince Ant we need him to play defense day in, day out, game in, game out, first quarter through the fourth quarter. You got to play all the time. And Ant, apparently maybe people that are watching it more closely than I do can attest to that. But the people I trust, the people that I believe, tell me he is playing defense. He's more engaged than he's ever been. And you hear what Finch says. Finch says he's, seeing the floor, moving the ball, getting people involved. It's what you want to see in an all-around player, man. It's like guys that are just, one-trick ponies can do one thing. Like even Gobert, I've been reading in this stretch now where the Wolves have played better. He's actually offensively better than he's maybe ever been. He's always been a guy, if he's standing 2 feet from the basket, he can score. His defense has been his calling card. He's not a one-time, not a two-time, not a three-time, but a four-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. But it says now he's starting to score, and I should dig that story. Maybe I will during the victory formation segment, because there was a story with quotes from Gobert, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this a little bit, but Gobert was talking about he's trying not to think as much and overanalyze when he's out there and just go ahead and trust himself and go, not try to be so perfect. Go out and play basketball, score, just go with your instincts. And man, if you can add if you can add not just your 13 boards and your 5 block shots and 6 points, if you can get double-digit points, he's become even more effective player. And look, they're going to need everything they can get out of him as they go forward into postseason play, because you're going to have to get through Wembanyama in San Antonio. And Wembanyama is he's, your mama can't stop him. Your daddy can't stop him. The police can't stop him. Nobody can stop him. And then that's not even to mention Oklahoma City. And I know they've been struggling. They're, 500 the last 12 games, unless, again, like I say, they played last night. But you need Gobert, I think, not to be just defensively, but you get some offense out of him. Randall's good. I don't know what they're going to do at the point guard position. I guess Ant's doing that. They're mixing and matching on that. They want to trade Dillingham. I don't think they're going to get anything for him. I think that's just they're just admitting that they made the wrong draft pick there. So, And again, the only way you get rid of him, we talked about this yesterday, I guess if there's somebody else in the league, a GM or a coach that says, they've taken the wrong approach with developing Dillingham. They're not doing it right. We can get him, we can teach him our way to play. Sort of like what the quarterback whisperer thinks. Bring that quarterback into me and I'll get his feet and his eyes aligned. We'll get him, his posture will be right. We'll get him to play quarterback the way I think the quarterback position should be played. And then a guy can blossom from there. And that would be the same thing as, is there somebody that can get Dillingham to do those kinds of things? I don't know, because it hasn't been what we've wanted. As someone sent a text message that said, Ant's mid-range shot has improved too. And I think that was one of the things that they wanted him to improve on. So yeah, again, I get accusations. I had somebody send a text as, I'm done with you. You're too hard on the Wolves. Even when they were 3-1, you didn't say anything about them. It's the tough love covenant, man. Royce did a piece last week where he said, the headline of the article was, and Royce's brilliant, and it says, I'm not a hater of Gopher football, just an old guy that's got higher standards. So once you've knocked on the door, once you've gotten to the door, Western Conference Finals, the Wolves did that 2 years ago, got there again, they knock on the door, I'm waiting for them to kick it in. And nothing until the last 3-4 games, 6-7 games, have they shown us, to me, any indication of being a team that's going to kick it in. You got quotes out of the locker room from Ant himself saying it just doesn't seem like we want to play these games. We just want to move on to postseason play. And you know what? I guess I can even understand that. As much fun as it is to make multi-millions of dollars and play a little kid's game and play basketball for a living, I'm sure it gets, everybody has a grind, even the Radio Romeo, a grind sometimes. It's 3 hours a day, but sometimes I just don't want to go in today. And I don't want to talk about Anthony Edwards. I don't want to talk about Mikko Koivu. Does he still play with the club? Or is he gone?
He does not.
He's gone. So, but anyways, here we are talking about it. So what we need to do, we're going to take a break. I think Lil B's in. Her door's open, the light's on. So I think she's here, but I've not seen her today. So Feminine Touch the program right around the corner. Then Alec Lewis in for sure. You never did hear from Gessling, right?
I didn't hear back from him.
So I guess Gessling's all in. I don't think he'll just wear an N95 mask, or he'll say, I'm invincible. I'm built different. I can be in a studio with somebody who has a cold, and Lewis has got one too. It's an infirmary here at the Fan. We'll break. We'll come back with a little Dis Dat Lat here on the Common Man program on the Fan.